That's a tells the direction of the wind. It's not an airplane coming in. So the Marathon Airport, they have a little air museum right here, and it looks like this little old Beechcraft aircraft is open for visiting. Airplane engine, old fire truck, old jet engine here. Oh, it's free. What do you know? Learn to fly. This would be a good place to learn to fly, wouldn't it? Flying over this nice blue-green water. And if you like, you can either take a helicopter tour or a biplane ride. Biplane ride, 2 for the price of 1. You get it? I'm guessing that's the one right there. You out there who know your airplanes, is that an old Stearman? I think it might be. It was like, what was that number, a PT1 or something like that? You can tell I'm somewhat enthralled about this airport. Here's the little terminal area. This reminds me a little bit of the airport on Molokai, if I recall it correctly. It's been, it's over 20 years since I've been there, but for some reason the Molokai airport rings a bell here. Have you been there? Have you been to Molokai? Have you been to that airport? Or it also might seem like something you'd see in something that I've seen in a video or a picture of some South Pacific airport. I promise, one last airport clip. You want to do some sleuthing? There's a, you can go to the FAA registry site on the internet, plug in the aircraft registration number, and see who it's owned by. You have a feeling of doing that? And then putting in the comments who the owners of these jets are. How about this one over here, huh? Looks like a G3 maybe. Oh, I didn't think I was walking that fast. Oh, I'm not. Well, I broke through 50 miles. 49 miles to go in 2.5 days. I think we're gonna make it. So out of 2,200 miles, I guess that's pretty good feet, huh? Have this guy go here. See anything wrong with this picture? Wonder how often they use this here. It's even got a 305 area code, so they're not from out of the way. Maybe snow here is a euphemism for sand, right? Well, here it comes. 7 Mile Bridge. Doing it at 2:55 p.m. Starting to slow down. So if I get over at 3 hours, that'll be good. That'll get me over at a half hour before sunset. Here's a sneak peek of it. Traffic's not too bad right now. And that'll be the view. Alright, 7 miles. Here we go. Not too bad so far. Nice size shoulder. Great view. And it'll certainly be nice. That's the old bridge right there. And I think what they're doing right now is repairing it so that that can be the continuation of the hiking trail all the way across, so we wouldn't have to walk on the highway here. Almost the halfway point, but look what I found. Should we go down and hang out tonight? Maybe not. And here's how much farther we've got to go. Alright, let's go. Well, getting towards the end here, but you think that old bridge has seen its better days? A tree growing right in the middle of it. And a bush over there. By the way, if you look on Google Maps, they have a name. Go look on Google Maps at the south end, towards the south end of the 7 Mile Bridge. And in the comments, tell me what the name of this tree is, and the name of that bush is back there. I dare you to look it up. On, here we go. 2 hours and 15 minutes. To get over the 7 Mile Bridge. Not bad, huh? How about that? I think I gotta go another couple miles. Find a place to stealth camp tonight. Because right here I think it's patrolled too much. It's too rocky over here. But I do say I'm going to take a break. Still have about an hour and 20 minutes to sundown. So I got a little time here. And hopefully they got a drink if I don't. I'm thirsty. Well, I must say, that was a profitable walk across that bridge. I found 20 cents. So divide that by 2 hours and 15 minutes, so 2 1/4. And that's what, 8 cents per hour I made on that walk. But the other nice thing though is some guy, when I was getting ready to leave the park there, I stayed there at the park for about a half hour. He said, everything okay? Here, have this. And he handed me a $5 bill. How about that? So thank you very much, whoever you are. I told him I'd prayed for him, and he said, oh, you better not do that. They'll make him mad if you mention my name. So, if you have a mind to, pray for the guy anyway, whoever he is. and I'm sure something good will happen for him. Okay, so now the goal for tonight is, I don't know, I'll probably just walk along these keys here. This is Little Duck Key, and then the next one is Ohio Key, I believe. And I think I'll just look for a spot in the fringe here along the whatever you want to call the shore. It's going to be high tide tonight at about 8 o'clock, and then it's going down, and then in the morning it's going to be higher tide, so I just have to be cognizant of that. But I've got about I don't know, I guess 40 minutes till sundown, so I got a little bit of time. Well, and just like that, oh, what's that sign say? Just like that, I found a spot. Little grassy area amongst the rocks, so it's pretty soft. Nice view of the water. There's also a bunch of rotted grass there, so I'll be sure not to go out there. Relatively hidden from the highway. Not hidden from the noise, but hidden nonetheless. And there is that sign there, so I think I'll go check that sign out. And I just checked, I'm on Missouri Key. So that's the one before Ohio. But before I sign off for the night, quick question for you. What do you think about deja vu? I've had deja vu quite a bit during this walk, and even more so towards the latter stages of it. And the only reason I bring it up right now is because when I was bending down to look at something here on this camp before I made my final check, I dreamt this before, and I've had it quite a bit, especially here in Florida, and I don't know what the reason is. So tell me what you think about deja vu in the comments there. If you think it's a thing, or if you think it's just in our minds, or what. But I've really been having a whole lot of it lately. I guess I'll have to ponder that tonight. Nighty night. Well, there's a nice way to start the day. Don't know if it shows up very well on the video. A nice little rainbow. So I'm going to make my way to Ohio Key and then Big Pine Key. Big Pine Key is, I think, 9 miles, something like that, 9 or 10. And then I'll figure out where I'm going after that. Guess there's only one way to go, right? You know, counting today, it's just 3 days left. As I told you before, not really, it's still just a flat feeling. It's like matter of fact. Hey, 3 days left. Oh well, whatever. I can't figure this out at all. It's kind of nice over there, isn't it? Well, here's the old bridge coming from Missouri Key to Ohio Key. It's so tempting to use, but it's all closed off with fencing and barbed wire. But that'd be a nice, nice little walk instead of here on this road where all the busy cars are. But then again, I guess there's a good reason. The bridge is blocked off, huh? Well, you certainly can tell it's high season around here. Look at all those campers. In fact, it almost looks like a transplant of suburbia, doesn't it? Huh. Well, this has always been fun from time to time on the bridge. I get to these little drain holes, find a rock, and splish splash. Make a little song out of that, huh? Well, here's one of those rare places where you actually walk north or drive north in the Florida Keys. So here's the main highway coming from Ohio Key, and it's doing its usual south westerly thing, and then right here on Big Pine Key makes a turn to the right, goes up that way, and that's almost it's like a northwesterly direction, and then it goes back to its westerly and southerly route. That's right, deer for the next 35 miles. Oh, 3.5. There's not 35 miles left in this road. It's the key deer. They're like little, I guess for lack of a better term, you call them pygmy deer. But they're endemic to this area, and hopefully we'll get to see them. Made it to Big Pine Key without seeing any key deer, but I guess this is a good consolation view, right? Interesting, I've been getting stopped more and more by people today. One guy said he saw me in Marathon yesterday. Another couple stopped and said they saw me 3 hours before. Another guy stopped me in the shopping center after I got something to eat and said, that's Troy. Hello there, Troy. Said that he'd hike the Appalachian Trail. So the world's getting smaller and smaller as I get closer and closer. Well, the final 24.5 miles starting tomorrow, and I still have no idea what I'm feeling. And I think it's kind of appropriate that I'm in kind of this unique camping spot here. You can kind of tell behind me. Here, I'll show you right here. It's in amongst this brushy area that's a little bit inland here on Summerlin Key. It's public land, but I still don't think it's it's not an official camping spot. And there's a big vacant area over there where it looks like the local kids hang out and do their thing, you know. So if I have some epiphany, I'll certainly let you know, but I'm just not hearing anything. And is it going to be over in 2 days? Who knows, you know? I have nowhere else to go. It's as far as I can get, right? Unless I start swimming to Cuba. Well, let's see what the final 2 days brings, right? Huh. What's this area remind you of? I camped in this, just in the bushes over there, but all these abandoned pipes, so to speak. It's kind of like a graveyard, or maybe it's kind of like the empty landscape after the apocalypse. They're just all sitting here quietly. The quiet sentinels after the big explosion. Huh. Okay, I haven't really gone too much into the history of this road, except to just kind of mention it in passing when talking about the railroad and all that. But before US 1 was here, and before there were any roads going straight down from Miami to Key West, there were a series of roads, and then they came up with a plan to make State Road 4A that came down part of the way, and then there was a gap, then it came through here, and then there was a gap, and then in the gaps the cars were ferried on ferries. Anyway, State Road 4A was built mainly by World War I vets. And the construction was completed mostly in the 30s. And as the construction progressed, there was a hurricane, I think in, what was it, 1935 or something like that. Labor Day came through here and actually killed 400 of the workers that were building the road. Eventually, though, the road, US 1 came through here, and then they abandoned State Road 4A. However, the old alignment of State Road 4A here in this section, anyway, is used by the Florida Keys Overseas Highway Trail. And I've been walking that off and on down here. So, howdy.
Morning.
It'll be kind of a quiet jaunt, I think. Well, actually, now I'm going to go to the store, so this would actually be kind of a quiet jaunt to go through here. Maybe I'll backtrack and do it, but Sure gonna beat the noise of the highway, isn't it? But I need to go to the store, man. It's about halfway down and there's no way through. Anyway, so that's your history lesson for the day. And it's just gonna be basically going through a series of keys here. Summerlin Key, Cujo Key, some other keys. And I think the goal today is maybe to stealth camp out on Big Coppet Key. But the only problem with that, there's a lot of naval air station land. So it might not be the smartest of moves. So I might hold up before that. Anyway, let's see what goes on, huh? This time I got a picture, alright. Ah, look at that nice creamy green water. So inviting, yeah? So I've crossed over from Upper Sugarloaf to Lower Sugarloaf and Park Key. Parky, how about that? Inch by inch, making my way closer and closer. I was trying to count the steps that I've made on this trip, and it's such a big number, man. I'm still counting, but I'll let you know once I get the final tally. Yeah. It's always interesting to see things like these in communities as I go through. That's a public notice that they are considering a conditional use permit to allow the building of 88 houses here, condos I guess, on this property. This is on Lower Sugarloaf. As you can see, it would really change the makeup of this stretch of land. But right beyond this right here, there's more houses, so it's not that it's going to be really destroying any, so you can see right through there. It's not going to be really destroying anything as far as the nature of everything goes. Progress, right? And you know, when we look at housing development and stuff, I guess the fact remains that they ain't making no more land, so all 330 something million of us in the US have to live somewhere, right? I still always find it amazing seeing things like this, how hardy plants can be, you know, just growing in the most stark of places. The man-made structures don't last, but nature does. Well, I'm coming into the Saddle Bunch Keys here, and there's not really anything on the Saddle Bunch Keys. So, you know, it's kind of appropriate, I guess, for getting here to the end. 14 miles to go. How the place strips itself of everything for that final gaggle of humanity and that final jaunt through blocks of houses and businesses. I guess the hustle and bustle of all the tourism there. And you know, I still have no feeling. I still have no thoughts. I'm just flat for whatever reason. And you know, I've asked the good God upstairs, come on. What do we got next on the list? What's the message you have for me? I know that I shared your message on the journey, but man, you're keeping it quiet. And sure, yeah, you know, you find God in the silence and everything, but still, He's even being silent in the silence. Well, it's a quaint spot. Somebody else has camped here before, but a little bit too wet. And I think the tide's coming in tonight. Let's keep searching. Nope, let's keep going. Well, I sat down here for a bit, hoping that one of these boats would come by and say, hey, you can stay on the boat tonight. No luck. So let's keep going. Well, it doesn't look like much. In fact, I can't even see over here. I got to the Circle K here on Big Soppet Key. I bought some gourmet dinner, barbecue brisket, peaches, cookies, hot dog, grape juice. And I asked the lady there who helped me at the counter, say, would you mind if I camped out back of your store? She appeared to be the manager. And she said, I hear nothing, I see nothing, I don't want to know anything. So it wasn't a no, was it? So Circle K will be our digs for tonight. And then let's see what tomorrow brings, huh? Is tomorrow really the end, or is there something else coming? Let's find out, right? Nighty night. Well, thanks again, Circle K. It was a nice spot there back in the, I almost call it like a backyard. Behind the trees. Nobody saw me. Very nice. Well, the goal today is, how about this? To get to the end, huh? Roughly 10 miles. I might make a couple detours, so make it 12. But going through Big Coppet Key, which is this one right here. Big Coppet Key. And then, let's see, East Rockland Key, which is just a little snippet of that. Boca Chica Key, which is, for the most part, the Navy base, Key West Naval Air Station. And then Stock Island, and then Key West itself. And as usual, it's a late start. So let's see what we can see. Oh, and by the way, I think I figured out that something else is coming after this. All right, see you later. And by the way, that lady there, we got to talking. She lives here in her car. She came here from Connecticut 6 years ago, hasn't left. Hello there. Well, it's been a relatively quiet morning so far. Not a whole lot of traffic, which is good. A lot of bicyclists. And just passed a couple bicyclists that are heading on up to Maine. I'm guessing they're following the East Coast Greenway, which is a bike path that for the most part follows the eastern seaboard from down here in Key West all the way up to Maine. In fact, on the walk last year, when I was going through east of DC, but before crossing the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, before getting to Annapolis, I was actually walking on a part of the East Coast Greenway. So Dee, if you're watching, there's a couple girls that are on their bikes. They should be up there in a few months, I'd suppose. And here we have the Naval Air Station. It's home to a bunch of F-18s. And then there's other aircraft passing through. I saw it on the tarmac earlier. There's a KC-135 out there. I looked at a picture the other day on the satellite map. There was an AC-130 parked on the ramp. So, but it's basically an F-18 base. As you can see, I've just hit mile marker lucky 7. 7 miles to go. Well, actually maybe another mile or two after that to really get to the very end point, but man, I'm dragging. And it's really been a challenge actually coming down the Keys here. Not only physically, but mentally as well. Some of these days it's just all I can do, you know, to get up and get going and make the miles. Maybe that in and of itself is part of the message, huh? Who knows? Alright, let's go. Come on, come on, we can do it. Can do it, can do it, can do it. There we go, Stock Island. Right out that way. Finally got into a breeze here. Back there it was just all dead and muggy. Now getting into this open area, it's nice and breezy and cool. Well, slowly counting them down. So I've been walking by this golf course here for a bit, and just now I saw a couple people looking for their balls on the other side of the fence, which reminds me of a kind of a funny story. I've never really played golf except in college. A friend and I played maybe I don't know, 8 or 10 times, and we never took lessons or anything, just went out and tried to hit the ball. But the way we would score is the person who lost the fewest balls was the one that was the winner. So looking back at that, it reminds me of that. That's you, Mark, if you're watching. And just like that, we're just about here. So, which way should we go? Left or right? Let's see which way the wind takes us. In the shade, okay, yeah. Well, walking the waterfront as you first get into Key West, and you got a Hyatt Residence Club right over there. Something else. Pretty descriptive, aren't I? But kind of time for an interesting story. I don't know if you've heard of the Conch Republic. The Conch Republic. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. There was a time in the early 80s when Key West, kind of tongue-in-cheek, seceded from the U.S. And that was during the time of the Reagan administration. And if you might recall in a couple of videos back, we talked about the immigration policies the time when they're cracking down on the illegal immigration and raiding the fields. Hello there. And so they did the same thing here in the Keys, up the Border Patrol. Put a checkpoint up at the top of the Keys, and they were searching cars for illegal aliens. They were searching cars for illegal drugs, asking for IDs, stuff like that. And it was starting to hurt the tourism industry in Key West, which had kind of been in the doldrums due to the goings-on from the 70s, you know, the economic stuff going on there, the Arab oil embargo, the resulting hyperinflation, all that. So ever since then, excuse me, the Keys have celebrated Conch Republic Day, which it's kind of funny, you know, if you think about it. They even had their own flag. I think they had some parades and stuff. They had their own fleet. Set up some ministerial departments, had a prime minister, all that. So look up the Conch Republic. It's like a peaceful marina, even with the street noise. But how about this? Why don't we turn right up here and go down Duval Street and see how much we stick out like a sore thumb, huh? You know, a grungy, sweaty, smelly, 9-day-old smell going down Duval Street with a backpack and sticks. See how many double takes we get before we get to the end here. Or, you know, maybe we should just keep going to Cuba. That's what we had to do, right? Let's go to Cuba. It's nice to be on these semi-quiet back streets and to see all this architecture, you know. Kind of feels like what it would have been like in the days of old Florida, old Key West. They have the ocean breezes just wafting through. Your fans going, your windows and doors open. Slower time. A less stressful time, I'm sure, in some ways. Front Street and Duval Street. All these people, I'm starting to hyperventilate. Kind of pretty and colorful though, isn't it? And it's not as crowded as I thought it might be, which is nice. I guess maybe tonight is when it kind of opens up. $5. Oh, here's the smallest bar right here. That was small, wasn't it? There you go.
What's up? What's up? Yeah.
All right, let's cross the block here. Sights and sounds speak for themselves, don't they? Hey, look at that, huh? Well, let's go look at the historic district. So here's the Catholic Basilica, and the interesting architectural bit about this place was, if you look right here, you know, in old churches and basilicas of its time, the windows would have gone all the way down, stained glass windows. But what they did here is they made these doors to be opened so that the cross breeze can come through, and it would keep the church cool during the day. So pretty clever, huh? Now we're walking through the edge of the historic district right here, on the way to the finish line, and certainly a quieter pace over here, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you say? That gauntlet of Duval Street was, it really did feel like a gauntlet to me, you know, after so many weeks, so many months, so many miles, so many steps, so many states. I guess the end is just about here. Unless I head on over to Cuba. That's about the only thing I can think of. Unless you got some ideas. But let's go over here to the finish line and see what it looks like and feels like then. See if there's any big aha moment that comes and pops into my head. The angels sing and say, "Ah!" I'm blabbering a lot right now, aren't I? Yeah, kind of an interesting place to end the walk, you know? Alright, well.
Me and my buddy, what's his name?
I'm your buddy Mike. This is your buddy Steve right here.
What's going on, man? What's going
So
on?
anticlimactic, or maybe climactic way to end the trip, you know, 5.5 million steps, 2,100 miles, 7 months, 7 states. Finally made it to the end here.
Nice. I'm actually also on a month-and-a-half vacation from California. Went to Oregon, Washington, up through all the states.
Okay, so he's got a month and a half, you know, so just 5.5 months to go for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so made it here to the southernmost point, 90 miles to Cuba, but actually I do now think that I got an idea what to do after this. What do you think I should do? Stay tuned.
Let's go.